Well, howdy, folks. I'm Bryan Scar. Happy to be here with you guys. I wasn't expecting such an audience, but it's nice to be here. This first song is called The Dog Song. I wrote about our 4 dogs. We got 3 Dachshunds and 1 Jack Russell. And so this song came about. Well, I'ma tell you straight about how it feels when they look up at you with those big brown eyes and saying, it's real love at first sight. They're the loyalest friends that I've ever had, never done me wrong or made me sad. I'm saying they always know how to make me smile. So who knows where this world would be without 4 little paws and a big heartbeat. All I know is they make life so much better. They're always there standing by my feet, a little tail wagging, nose on me. And when we're together, well, that's a beautiful time. Going on walks and rest on the couch, laying in bed, all tuckered out, saying, ain't no place we'd rather be. Well, they've seen me cry, they've helped me mourn, carried my soul when I couldn't go on. Ain't nothing gonna break that bond. Who knows where this world would be without 4 little paws and a big heartbeat. All I know is they make life a whole lot better. They're always there standing by my side, with 2 floppy ears and joy in their eyes. When we're together, well, that's a beautiful time. Thank you. That was a dog song right there. I always like to tell a little joke that my wife asked me if I'd seen the dog bowl, and I said, didn't know he could. Yeah, a little lame, but we can move along anyway. This next ditty is another one of mine. It's called The Pink Lady Bandit, based off a true story happened back in 2018. There was this lady who robbed banks from Philadelphia, Rehoboth Beach, finally getting caught down in North Carolina. And what's happened to her since, I don't really know, but I wrote this song in the style of bluegrass about the ordeal. And it goes like this. Well, there's a red hot mama on a shopping spree. Except they ain't no ordinary stores. She's getting the hell out of Philly to find her next city. A tiny hot pink hammock at her side. She got shade to hide her eyes. Oh, what a disguise. A baseball cap and yoga pants and boots. She's walking up to the teller, and boy, let me tell you, she's walking out rich tonight. And she's called the Pink Lady Bandit. She's got that elusive charm, with her smooth southern drawl and a pistol in her bra. Pink Lady Bandit's on the run. Riding 80 miles an hour to Rehoboth Beach, where that salt water tap tastes so sweet. Where she found another teller and slid him a letter. Man, almost 500,000 G's. And she's called the Pink Lady Bandit. She's got that There's smooth southern drawl and the pistol and brawl. Pink lady bands on the run. I say she's on the road, but them stealing has his toll. She soon found out in Carolina. It was in the morning hour, they took her from that tower, threw her in the county jail by night. And she's called the Pink Lady Bandit. She's got that loose and charm, with that smooth southern drawl and a pistol and brawl. Pink lady bands on the run. Said that pink lady bandits on the run.
Okay. Yeah, you could probably find her on Google somewhere. I think last I heard she's still serving time down in Carolina. All right, so this next ditty, it's called Crow in the Shadow. It kind of pays homage to classic country artists like George Jones, Charlie Pride. So it's got a very traditional country rhythm. It goes a little something like this.
There is a crow in the shadow of a dove. Well, he's perched upon a tree above everything I love. I can't seem to shake him, even when I sleep. That crow in the shadow of a dove. No one really knows the pain that I feel. How can I expect them to? They ain't worn my shoes. Keep up with the Joneses, smile for the crowd. But though inside I'm petrified, breaking from these lies. While there's a crow in the shadow of a dove, well, he's perched upon a tree above everything I love. I can't seem to shake him, even when I sleep. That crow in the shadow of a dove. Wish I had some answers to what led me astray. Perhaps my uncle's whiskey will get me through the day. But it's only temporary, then it's back into the dark. Stumbling through the hallways of my bruised and battered heart. While there's a crow in the shadow of a dove, well, he's perched upon a tree above everything I love. Oh, I can't seem to shake him, even when I sleep. That crow in the shadow of a dove.
Okay. All right. Guess you guys like that one. See if I can top it. We got one more for you, and it's one of my most recent ones. This is about my wife over here. Kind of wrote in time for Valentine's Day. It's called "The Love to My Right," and it happens that she is on the right.
Frozen lakes and winter winds, times those two-way crawl. But the fire's warm like your loving arms, and that ain't something small. When you're close to me, you're all I see. No one's ever had such luck as the love I found when you're around. You've grown to mean so much. The moon is glowing bright like the love in your eyes, and I know it's gonna be for all time. Lengthy words on paper cards cannot express my thoughts, for the feeling is much deeper than any Hallmark card. So won't you lay by me as I say to thee these words I've come to find, that your loving me will always be never enough time. Although it's cold tonight, there's a warmth in my life, and they're laying here to my right. Although it's cold tonight, there's a warmth in my life, and they're laying here to my right.
Thanks so much for being with us today. We have Bryan Scar with us, and we're just going to sit down and have a little chat about him and his music. The first question that I wanted to ask had to do with what kind of genre you associate yourself with, if it's more of a combination of things in addition to country music, or if you really view yourself as a country musician.
It's more of a combination. There's an umbrella term called Americana, which encompasses bluegrass, folk, and country. So that's kind of where I am.
Yeah, I totally get that. So what first got you into this type of Americana music?
When I was living in California about 10 years ago, there was this place called Amoeba Records. And I didn't have much money, but I had about $20 every weekend. And I used to go to the back of the store where they had these $1 CDs. And I didn't know too much of the genre going before having moved there, but after a few years or a year, I picked up some CDs. First one was a Randy Travis one, and from there I was hooked, and so I really did a deep dive into the 90s and before, so really 40s through 90s country is where I like to listen to.
Oh yeah, me too. I really like 90s country.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that kind of music influenced, your songwriting and how you go about songwriting now?
I want to say yes, it's definitely influenced it, but songwriting has been kind of a growing process through the years. Because when I first started music, I was really big into 80s hard rock. So Twisted Sister, Guns N' Roses, those were my top two. And then I got into blues, jazz. Really all the music kind of blends together one way or another. And you really need to open yourself up to get influenced by it.
Yeah. Going from there, how did you get yourself plugged into a music scene, and what are some musicians that, kind of helped you?
There's this fella in southern Delaware called Captain Mike. He's a real captain. He worked for I think he's still working for Del Dot. He used to go out on the boats and kind of monitor the water levels and such. But he did acoustic solo music for a while, and I became best friends with his son. And through that, I kind of got the groundwork for how to perform live doing solo acoustic. So he's one of them. Lowercase Blues, I'm sure you guys may have heard of. They're a very popular local band. And I'd say another one is Solnoff. He's another kind of local artist. He does a lot of older stuff. I'd say Neil Diamond is kind of what he sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. How did you start, playing gigs, and what kind of places do you play and have you played?
Well, the first solo show I had was at an Italian restaurant. It's called Bella Capri. They're still in Georgetown somehow. I don't know how, because their Parmesan was the worst. but there was a 4-hour show, and they paid me $100 for it. And anyone who's done solo acoustic work knows that's kind of as low as you can go, or at least I thought, because I've gotten offers for $50 or less for more time. And so that's kind of where I got my start doing those kinds of shows.
Yeah. So what helped you keep going and inspiring you to keep making music?
It's just a burning desire inside to just want to keep going. My influences, one of my biggest influences is John Denver, and seeing how far he got with his music. And that's kind of was the guideline for me for where I wanted to be. I'd like to get to the point where I could perform nationally and tour regionally. So that's my overall goal.
Yeah, so you like that kind of, you like the John Denver style of how he wrote his songs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot about nature.
Absolutely.
Yeah, a lot about, just American life.
That's it.
Yeah. No, I really like that. I'm a huge John Denver fan.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my dad loves country music, but one of his biggest artists is John Denver, so I really like his songs a lot.
Yeah.
And they're very poetic.
Yes, they are.
And so, I was just going to ask, what are some other main influences that could be outside of the sphere of country?
Jim Croce. He's more folk, I would say.
Yeah.
Not really too country, but he's a local because he's from Villanova.
Mm-hmm.
I say local because he's within 2 hours of the area. Billy Joel. Always loved Billy Joel. Cliche, the Beatles have always had some good stuff. So there's lots of artists that have kind of influenced me that haven't been strictly country. I mean, and that's kind of how you grow as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no genre is going to be better than the other. They're all they've got their place.
Yeah, and they all kind of mix together at the same time, too. Mm-hmm. I saw that online you wrote the dog song, and I saw that it was written to benefit the Humane Society of Wicomico County. So can you tell us specifically about that song and how all of this came about?
Sure. Well, my wife over here, she's actually the event coordinator for the Wicomico County Humane Society. And she had challenged me about a year ago to write a song about her dogs. And so I sat down with her dogs in the room, and I looked at them, and they looked at me. And they didn't say much, but I did. And eventually the words came about, and I wrote the song. And then when she got hired by the society, we thought, it'd be a good way to give back is to kind of dedicate the song and have the proceeds go back towards the shelter. And so now we've set it up on my site that you can go there. There's a specific link that's HSWC, and on there you can download the song, and it's a $5 download with $3 going back to the shelter. So at the end of the month, we take whatever we got and we put it towards the shelter. It's never ending too, so we'll keep it up for as long as we can.
Oh, that's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
So what are the names of all your dogs? You have so many.
I know. It didn't start this way, believe me. Our Jack Russell's name is Flash, and then we have Willow, which was our first dachshund. And from there, we kind of kept with a tree theme. We have Maple next, and our most recent one is called Aspen. And I called her Aspen because of John Denver's song,
Yes.
Aspen Glow.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, my dog doesn't have a fun name like that.
No.
Yeah. Going off of that, that's such a the song that we were just talking about has such a deep meaning and actually gives back to community. Going off of that, you know, what do you think of today's country music, the popular country music?
It has its place, obviously. There's artists I do like that are new. I do like some of Zach Bryan's stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler Childers.
Yeah.
But these guys, I wouldn't say they're pop country.
Mm-hmm.
They're more Americana. I
Yes,
would
they're
say.
Americana.
Yeah. Now, if we're talking like people like Luke Bryan or Sam Hunt or whatever, then they have their place, just not on my playlist.
Yes. No, exactly. I find it so interesting how now the Americana stuff is more country than country.
Yes.
Yeah, and how all the commercialism of country music has changed it a lot. But that is,
Agreed.
yeah, it's still respectable. It's still like music. It's just more evolved.
Yeah. I mean, and now rap is finding its place into country music, and that's perfectly fine. Like, what, did Beyonce had that song, Texas Hold'em? It's not bad. I dig it. My wife was playing it for a while. So, they definitely have a place, and that's every music genre has a place for anyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So where do you see yourself going from here? I know you talked about, you know, touring wise, but what kind of songs and music do you think you're going to be making?
I don't think anyone really knows.
Yeah.
I guess the way I could say it is just through whatever happens next in my life. I mean, that's where the most heartfelt songs come from, is experiences that you go through. And that's why it's hard to listen to some artists, because they don't write their own music. They're trying to duplicate a feeling, and you can tell when it's actually a real feeling, because, you know, it came from a place they know.
Right, yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, that makes sense.
Okay, good.
And even there's sometimes artists who can interpret songs, you know, and they're singing them still from the heart.
This is also true.
And the songs themselves are written well and written from the heart. But if songs aren't, then you can tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, you know, some songs are just meant to be funny.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Would you say that your songwriting process, something would just come to you, or you kind of ruminate on like a feeling for a bit and then you like sit down with the guitar and hear something you like and then just keep writing?
The way I write songs is I usually have the thought in my head, kind of like the chorus, and it doesn't happen every time, but sometimes it'll just come out in 5-10 minutes. And other times I'll write down some gummy words. They don't really mean anything, but they go along with the melody in my head, and then later on I fill in the blanks. And there's no set time limit on when to write a song, because if we're talking about John Denver again, it took him 6 months to write Rocky Mountain High.
Right.
So with that in mind, I don't give myself a time limit on when I have to finish it.
Right. Yeah, no, exactly. The other thing I wanted to ask is, what do you do other than music?
Other than music, well, I've got into reading recently. When I'm not reading, I like playing games. We do some video games with some good friends in Ohio. Recently, we're doing this game called Abiotic Factor, which is kind of go around in a science lab and try and survive. But my friend likes to hog all the good stuff, so it's tough to play with him sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
What I love about video games is just doing something together, you know?
Oh, no.
So, you know, video games used to be such a taboo thing, but I think it's more culturally ingrained now.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Especially as someone in Gen Z.
There you go.
Who's grown up with that. Would you say that music is similar for you, that you found community through music and you make friends through music?
I want to say yes, but then I want to say no. Because music, as much as people like to say it's all about community, it's still cutthroat. People will stab you in the back. They'll give you raw deals all the time. That's not saying don't do it. But I'm saying it's kind of the same with anything, you know. There's good people and there's bad people.
Yeah.
So I do love giving back to the community when I can with my music. But then again, I know there's people out there who just aren't there for the right reasons.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. The last question that we have, and this comes from everyone at WVUD, is what's your Subway order?
I haven't had Subway in such a long time, and that's because Wawa has taken over my Subway.
Oh,
so if I'm, is that like a taboo thing?
No.
Okay.
That's okay.
Am I too up north for Wawa? Is it like rural farm country here?
Oh, I like Royal Farms, though. But anyways,
Okay.
what would be your type of order for that?
Ooh. I like getting a whole wheat bun with run it through the garden, lettuce, tomato, onions, and I like my oven roasted turkey.
Any sauces?
Ooh, garlic aioli.
Ooh, very nice.
Classy.
Yes, I thought that's a great question to end on.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time
Well, thank you
and
for
for
having
playing
me.
for us.
Anytime.